I think I need to start season 5 soon. Maybe I'll start season 5 next week or when I get my next guest. Right now I'm scheduling a bunch of people to have on the podcast. Oh, by the way, hi. Welcome to Project Freelance. I'm Kay Anagonio, your host. I'm here every Monday with you guys. So what I was saying was I have a bunch of guests that are going to be coming on the podcast. Of course, I like having guests on mostly every week, but I do like to do solo episodes where I can focus in on one specific topic, which is what we're doing this week. We're going to be talking about marketing, but I want to let you guys know that I have a bunch of guests that are going to be coming on the podcast. I've got a scuba diver coming on the podcast. I have a guy that I met at NASA coming on the podcast. I've got a guy that's shooting for Bring Me the Horizon right now, and I have a guy that shot a Nat Geo documentary special narrated by Bear Grylls. He filmed one of these episodes, and so I'm going to have them all come on the podcast for their different weeks to talk about what they do, how they do it, how they make their money, how they make a living, and how they've gained success in their field of expertise. And so, yeah, that's Project Freelance, man. We talk about freelancing. We talk about being self-employed. We talk about how to make money doing what you love to do. And I just want to let you guys know it is Pride Month. Happy Pride. My birthday is on June 5th. If you guys want to get me something for my birthday, get yourself something. Get a photo print from me. Hit me up on Instagram at @kanagonio or no.tracers, or you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Project Freelance. Find me wherever you feel like you want to find me. You know, there's multiple avenues, multiple ways to find me on the internet. It's pretty easy. Just do a Google search, if you will. We can find anything on the internet. But yeah, if you guys want a photo print from me, just send me a DM, man. Send me a DM. Let's get you a photo print. I'll sign it for you, whatever you want. I'll mail it to you, mail it to your house from the address I mail things from, which is not my house. I don't mail things from my house. I haven't done that in so long because of the internet. And you don't know who's out there. You don't know, man. You just don't know who's out there. You know what I'm saying? So, this week on the Project Freelance podcast, I want to talk to you guys about networking and applying for jobs and the importance of applying for jobs, why you should apply for jobs, how much time you should spend applying for jobs, and why it's important. And so I'm just going to dive right in, really. So I spend about 6 to 8 hours a week. Depending on the week, if I'm more busy, I spend less time. You can spend an hour a week or 4 hours a week or 10 hours a week, but you need to spend some time every week, especially if you're a freelancer, applying for jobs, looking for jobs online, looking for new contacts, networking online, networking offline in person, doing cold calls. If your freelance business is something that, you know, cold calls make you get more customers, maybe you should do some cold calls. Maybe you should do those for an hour a week or 3 hours a week. Whatever fits in your schedule, I think it's important to apply for jobs constantly and consistently because you don't know when your next job's going to come in. So why not go out there and find your next job? You know, you don't want to wait for your repeat clients to say, hey, I have another video I need you to edit, or hey, I have another video I need you to come film. Why don't you take the initiative and start applying for those jobs yourself and just do that all yourself? I think it's extremely important to be self-sufficient in that manner because nobody's going to apply for jobs for you unless you have an agent or a manager or whatever. If you're in a different field, say you're an actor, sometimes you have an agency that does, you know, your bookings for you, so you don't have to spend so much time looking up casting calls online because that's what they're doing all day, and that's why they take a percentage of your earnings, because that's cold calls take hours and booking takes hours, and, you know, acting comes with a lot of casting calls and you have to submit your clients, and that's why agencies and managers exist, to help their clients be more successful while taking some of the weight off of their shoulders. It's basically your team. And so in that sense, if you do have a team like that that can apply for jobs for you or can look for jobs for you, that's fucking awesome. Unfortunately, I personally I don't pay anybody to look for jobs for me, and I could, but it's something I enjoy doing. First of all, I do enjoy looking for new jobs because I like to see, you know, what's out there. There's so many different things going on all the time. Next year in 2020, the amount of content that is consumed will be 90% video content. So videographers out there listening to this podcast, buckle up. It's about to get crazy. You're about to be so busy, and all you got to do is go look for the jobs. Now, some people are like, okay, where do I look for these jobs? How do I find these jobs online? What do I do? Okay, well, there are multiple places you can go, and there are new places popping up every day, new apps popping up every day of ways that you as a freelance creator can find work online without having to leave your home and go knock on doors, okay? So these things were created so that you guys have an easier time finding work. So there are multiple different sources for finding freelance work out there. I've been with Upwork since it was Elance, so it's been like five years now that I've been on Upwork. And I love Upwork. I think it's a great resource for freelancers and people that need projects created to come together and find each other. They do take 20% from you of your earnings, so keep that in mind. If you sign up for Upwork, you also have to pay for it. You also have to pay when you apply for gigs. So just keep that in mind. This stuff mostly does cost money. So if you are a new freelancer, maybe it's something you'll build up to in time, but for those of you that have been freelancing for a while and you've got the steady income, or you've got a source of revenue, you're making money and you can afford to do monthly subscription services, maybe this is right for you. Maybe this is what you want to do, or you can pay annually for some of these things. So that's kind of nice that you can just knock it out all in one payment and not have to pay for it every month. But of course that means it's going to be more expensive up front, which is how it works. But yeah, there are things like Upwork. There's like PhotoSesh is something new. It's an app, and basically it's the same kind of thing. You're connecting the photographer with the person that needs the photographer or the videographer or the sound person, whatever it is, editor. It's all in one app, and it's by your location, so it's local work. Upwork can be anywhere in the world. You can hire people in China to edit your video if you want to. There's different options. There's also things like Fiverr out there where people will do things for $5, but now it's more than $5. Now they'll do tasks for whatever they want to charge you. It depends on the freelancer on that site, on Fiverr, what they're going to charge you, but you can get things done for $5 still. So you could get a video edited for $5, but you have to remember that whoever edits that video for $5 may not be the best editor. So yeah, you kind of get what you pay for when it comes to production work, especially. But for those of you that do other types of, if you're in other industries and other fields and say you need a virtual assistant, there are people on Fiverr that will be a VA for $5. So $5 an hour, $5 a day, maybe. I haven't really looked into Fiverr much because it started out at $5 and I was like, I'm not going to only make $5 off of working. That's crazy. So I never signed up for Fiverr. I mean, maybe I made an account, but I don't think I ever used it, because I was like, I'm not going to just make $5. That's crazy. I would rather spend my time on a different website, putting that money and that time in on a different website that's going to make me more money in the end. So that's why I never went with Fiverr. But it does exist for those of you that need things like virtual assistants. You can outsource your work that way. There are people that will edit your stuff for $5. I personally just won't do it, just because I feel like I earned more than $5. I feel like I don't know. That's just me personally. But yeah, there's people out there that will edit your stuff for $5. So yeah, if you really want a video edited for $5, go on Fiverr. Fiverr's a great place. I feel like I'm trash talking Fiverr, and I don't mean to do that. So if that came off like I was trash talking them in any way, that's definitely not my intention. I just personally don't use their platform, and that's why. I just want to make a little bit more money than $5 per thing. So yeah, I went with Upwork, and so I don't think you have to pay for Fiverr. You might if they have tiers, like a pro account or something, or maybe they do like things where they'll promote you if you pay monthly or something like that. I haven't looked into Fiverr much, but it does exist. It is out there if you are a freelancer. If you're starting out and you want to just start out by making $5 videos because you're learning, Fiverr's a great source for you. If you're just starting out learning your craft, Fiverr is a great place to get work and practice. But if you are a professional, I would go with something more like Upwork. There's also platforms like Giglance, which is a new one. Hitlance, I think, is another one. I've gotten a lot of work off of Facebook recently. Facebook groups. I'm in a bunch of like paid LA film jobs Facebook groups. And so people will post in there whenever they need a videographer or an editor, sound mixer, or director, DP, whatever they need in the film production world. And there's thousands of freelancers in LA that are on these groups, and they can apply for these gigs. Super cool. So I spend a couple hours on Facebook groups every week applying for gigs on there. And I love the jobs I've gotten off of Facebook. I've had a lot of fun with them. They've been very different, very challenging, but very rewarding and very fun. And I will definitely be doing more of that. I also, anytime I have an event, I bring business cards with me. I network my ass off. I was just working a charity event for the past 2 days, which is why I probably sound exhausted right now. I'm recording this on Sunday. It's coming out Monday morning. I probably sound exhausted. I mean, I can tell that I sound exhausted. So I'm sorry if I sound tired to you guys. It's because I am absolutely knackered, as the Brits would say. So yeah, we did like 9 hours of filming yesterday, and I was on handheld, and I, for some stupid reason, decided not to use a monopod or anything like that. So my back and my arms are dead today, and my neck hurts too a little bit. But yeah, that's why we gotta work out, man. We gotta keep the fitness up so that we can keep doing these film jobs. Especially like I'm gonna be 26, like I said, next week, and I feel 26. I don't feel like a teenager anymore. I don't feel like I can just like have a six pack anymore. I feel like I have to work for it, and so I'm working for it. But that has nothing to do with networking. But now you guys know my feelings about fitness. But yeah, I bring business cards with me. I worked this event, and so I met a bunch of really cool people, and I handed them all my business cards, and I was like, hey, like I had a conversation with them, and then I was like, hey, if you ever need anything, I would love to talk to you more about blah, 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 offering you my services as a freelance videographer, editor, whatever it was, a photographer, whatever they needed. A content creator is mostly how I word it. If you need a content creator, I would love to create content for you, with you. And then you give them a business card. But it's really important when you're doing this stuff, you have to have a conversation with them first, because people hand out business cards like they're nothing. Like they hand them out like they didn't pay to get the business cards printed. People just hand out business cards like they're throwing a fishing rod at, and they're a fishing line out, and hoping that somebody's going to catch their worm. Somebody's going to bite their hook, you know? Instead of doing that, if you have a conversation and build a relationship with someone off the bat like that, they're more likely going to want to work with you, because you're not just throwing yourself at them. You're not just throwing your business card and saying, hey, if you need me. They're not going to remember who you are. They're going to see that business card later and be like, who is that? Where did I meet this person? And that's not what you want. You definitely want them to remember who you are, which is why, by the way, I have a photo of myself on my business card. Have you guys considered doing that? Have you considered putting your photo on your business cards? Because I feel like it's something more people should be doing, because how are you supposed to remember who the person is if you can't see their face? It's like Instagram. You see the name and you're like, who is this? And you click and you see their photo and you know who that is. I feel like it should be the same with business cards. And this is something new that I've done. So my business card has two sides. I printed both sides, a double-sided. And also I got a book printed, and hopefully it gets printed, because they keep saying there's issues printing this book, and it's really frustrating, and I just want them to print it, even if there's errors, because I just need the book so I can show you guys what's up, what the book is all about. I'm making an abandoned world photography book, and I'm trying to unbox it while I'm traveling this month, but if it doesn't get printed in time, I'm not going to be able to take it with me, and it's really frustrating and concerning. But hopefully they just print it out and just send it to me. I've approved it. I've told them it's my final, just print it. So hopefully they do print it. We'll see. But yeah, business cards. I started putting my photo on my business card. I think it has helped a lot when it comes to getting new clients. And I don't know. I think everybody should be doing it. I think you should put your photo on your business card. Why not? So they remember you, because they'll see it later and be like, oh yeah, this person, we had this cool conversation. I need a video made. And if they refer you, if they give your business card to somebody else, that person already knows what you look like, which is great. So like if they hire you, they'll know what you look like when you show up, which is always nice. It's always nice to know what the person looks like when they show up. So yeah, networking is super important. There's so many resources online for you to be able to find jobs. You just have to start looking for them. You have to start doing the work. You have to spend the time to do it. And yeah, it takes a couple hours out of your week. And oh gosh, you can't watch Netflix because you're applying for jobs. Why don't you put Netflix on the TV and apply for jobs on your computer? Then you can do both. That way you're actually being productive. It really is that simple, guys. If you're having trouble being productive and you're just watching like Netflix, if you're just watching movies and laying in bed and eating snacks, grab your laptop, grab a tablet, even grab your phone. You can apply for jobs on your phone. Like I said, there's apps where you can apply for jobs. Do it while you're doing nothing. See, if you fill your empty time with this stuff, you will see so much more success. If you're doing nothing, if you're just like chilling on the couch scrolling through Instagram for an hour and a half, why don't you just get up or even sit there, get out of Instagram. First of all, you're not going to make any money by looking at Instagram. Let's just put it that way. You're not making any money by looking through Instagram unless you're applying for jobs with Instagram. So here's another thing. You have to use these apps for the right reasons. You have to know why you're going on here. You're not going on here to get lost in the timeline, in the news feed. You're there to look for gigs. This gig I did yesterday and the day before was an event. I hit them up on Instagram about a week and a half ago, and I was like, hey, I see you guys have an event coming up. Do you have anyone doing video for your event? If not, I would like to offer my services as a videographer to you to cover your event. And they remembered me from a few years ago when I covered their event for a different company, and they were like, yeah, we would love to have you. So I got a job because I reached out through Instagram DMs. You can reach these companies personally through a human being, through their DMs, through their comments. You know, you build a relationship that way. And I fortunately had already filmed one of their events, so they already knew what I was bringing to the table. So it turned out to be, you know, a great fit, and it was an amazing event. Super cool experience. Got to meet a bunch of really cool people. And, the event was called Strange 80s. I guess I could say what the event was that I filmed at. It was called Strange 80s, and it is a charity event sponsored by a group called Charity Bomb. You can visit them at CharityBomb.org. Their whole thing is raising mental health awareness. And if you or anyone you know is struggling and they need help, or if you just need to know how you can help them, head to CharityBomb.org. You can see their resources on there. There's so much information on there that will help you help yourself, help your friends, help your family member, whoever is struggling with whatever. Charity Bomb will help guide you to the right places. And I just kind of wanted to throw that plug in here. And I had a really great time working with Charity Bomb, and I hope to work with them again in the future. I think we will be doing some work together in the future, which would be really, really cool. And I had an absolute blast. The team, we had like 7 videographers, and it was absolutely incredible. It was super cool to have a team that big, all running cameras at the same time. Super cool, super challenging, lots of data to go through on their part. The editor is going to have a crazy time editing this, but should be really cool. Should be really, really cool what turns out. They also just dropped a Strange 80s documentary if you guys want to check that out. If you're into the 80s, if you're into like live events, things like that, and charity organizations, raising awareness for mental health, things like that, you should check out this documentary. It's super cool. It came out today, or yesterday. Sorry. So it came out yesterday and it's out now. So if you guys want to check that out, you totally should. Charity Bomb. Check it out. Or just go to Strange 80s, Strange Entertainment on Instagram, and you can see more there. So I just wanted to wrap this up and tell you guys that I appreciate you listening. We've passed over 20,000 streams. That's absolutely insane to me. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. If you guys want to support the podcast and everything I do, head to patreon.com/justtheletterk. You can donate as little as $1. And whatever you donate, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for supporting. And there are different tiers. If you donate $5, you get thanked in my YouTube videos. If you donate $50 per video or per installment, you get a Skype call once a month with me. So, good things. We can talk about business. We can talk about this kind of stuff, the podcast, what I talk about on here, anything you guys need to know, one-on-one. And I love doing that. I really enjoy doing it. I recently did it with one of my Patreon supporters, and he Skyped me from the truck he was driving in Norway in the middle of the mountains, and he showed me his beautiful view out of his window, and it was absolutely amazing. He wasn't driving when we Skyped. He was parked, by the way. But yeah, it was absolutely incredible. Super cool. So yeah, if you guys want to support, head to patreon.com/justtheletterk. And if you guys dug the podcast, if you dig the podcast, give it 5 stars, give it a rating, help the podcast rise up into the charts so that we can reach more people just like you, so we can help out more people like you. And by we, I mean me and my guests that I have on every week, except this week, and sometimes when I just want to be with you guys, just me and you. I hope you enjoyed this. I'll talk to you guys soon. Stay strong, keep enduring, go create something, and hey, have a great week, man.